Hi, this is Ada.
And this is Stephen.
And welcome to Living Simply in Mexico. And if you're having a little bit of a tough time, you're wondering what all this ruckus is around us, that is the rain.
Today we're going to talk about moving to Puerto Vallarta and specific considerations we have, and also being part of what is called the sandwich generation.
This is our perspective, and all we're doing here is sharing our perspective.
Yeah.
We know that our lives are not the same as other people's lives, and everybody's coming from a different place. But what we hope to do is to be able to shine some light on what life is like down here and what it can be. And if you have any questions on that, put them in the comments, and like and subscribe, because we'll continue to have more videos up, and hopefully, like I said, give a little bit of the perspective from some Generation Xers coming down here and living the simple life in Mexico.
Absolutely. Just a really brief summary. We didn't plan to buy here when we did. We wanted to do something longer term. But we came down here and we met the neighbors, we saw our house, we thought it was perfect for us. We put an offer down, and all of a sudden we own a house in Puerto Vallarta.
I just wanted to, I think both of us want to give a shout out to a couple of really great resources that I think really helped us solidify what we loved about this area. The first on YouTube was watching the Kinetic Cannons really do a great job of capturing the flavor and the vibe and the feel of Puerto Vallarta and other parts of Mexico, but they settled in on Puerto Vallarta. And for us, you know, we had been here enough to where when we watched their videos, it felt like we were there.
The second one that we talk about, I'd say, is Barry Kessler. He is awesome. He's got the Puerto Vallarta podcast. And so when I'm sitting there cleaning yard work or dough, I'll put his podcast on, and he really goes deep in interviewing a lot of people, restaurants and you know, people that are selling things on the street. He gets to know them and interviews them. It's just really great. It gives you a large sense of what it's like being in Puerto Vallarta. So both of those really kept on getting us excited to continue our journey here.
Well, and interestingly, so Barry Kessler's podcast, in addition, he's got a great podcast voice, by the way. But the thing is that, so we watched the YouTube videos coming from the millennial perspective, and then we listened to Barry Kessler's podcast coming from, you know, really, he's been coming down here since, like, I think 1980, which we were like 9 years old or something in 1980. So yeah. It's your birthday today.
Oh, yeah.
Age 47 in the San Francisco Bay Area is like the peak earning potential. So we're like kind of at the peak of our careers right now.
I'm now past that.
You're now past it. I have another month to go. But you know, this is that place where things are going to change. And so for us, we're like, what is going to happen in our second half of life? What are we going to do to really maximize it based on where we've been, based on where we want to see ourselves, and also just kind of based on our family and who's around us. Now with our daughter being a little bit older, a little bit more independent, our parents still being able to be independent, moving around, but also seeing where we're going to potentially have to be there at some point. You know, we were at a place where we're like, we should do something while we can. So when we did make that trip down here, we also just made contact with a real estate with David Hoffman.
David Hoffman at Tropicasa. Yeah, he was really awesome. We told him, you know what, we're going to go down. We're not going to buy anything, but we'll take a look. And he took the time to show us around very seriously at a wide range, and that really made a
full afternoon with us, knowing that.
Yeah, and it was awesome. So if you want to learn more about the house, so first video that's got a decent amount of views now. It's like a real thing. Check out our buying a house in Puerto Vallarta, whatever we called it then. About the sandwich generation, what that means is that we still have a daughter in middle school, and then we also have parents that are in their 70s and starting to get into their upper 70s. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. What we're going to talk about, I think, a little bit is about the questions as being part of the sandwich generation, about considerations of moving here, because we get a lot of people, it's like, oh, that's wonderful, you know, when I retire I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and our mindset is we don't really plan on retiring, so what do you do then, and why not do it now? And so that's part of the discussion.
Right, and I think from my perspective, so as a physical therapist, I have seen people that are in their 70s, 80s, and beyond, like just living life, like just taking full advantage of it. And I've also seen where people have waited a little too long with every intention maybe of doing something, and then life getting in the way. And I think when you have that perspective, or at least for me, having that perspective of seeing that full spectrum, where it could be really great, or it could be, not so great, and that wasn't what you were intending. It's like, there's no better time than now to live, because you really only get one chance at this. There's only one crack at it. So it's like, hey, we're healthy, we move well, we're doing, we were both in a place in our businesses where we finally were able to have some flexibility in how we were able to, kind of work. And that wasn't on accident either. That really is something that we've always kind of, I think, in the back of our minds, we're like, we wanted to travel, we wanted to do something. We didn't know when it was going to happen, but it has been something that we have both been working on all along. All right, so there's a lot to talk about here, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually divide this into a part 2 video. So make sure that you like and subscribe, and put any comments down here that might have really struck a chord. And make sure to join us for our part 2 on this video, because, yeah, lots to cover.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for sticking with us.